Hello, how are you doing? My name is Oscar Carvajal. I'm from Colombia. I'm 39, and today I would like to talk to you about a problem that I'm currently facing, and I know that many others are also experiencing. It involves the withdrawal syndrome from antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications such as benzodiazepines. I have been 2 years and 3 months, 27 months, without the last medication, which was Pristiq, an antidepressant. I was taking it for 5 years. Over the years, I have taken more than 8 to 10 medications, but the most significant were Pristiq, which is an antidepressant, and clonazepam, a benzodiazepine that I took for another 6 years. Right now, I'm feeling extremely anxious and dizzy, even though I've been going for almost 3 years. Things are not getting better. It leaves me frustrated. I'm uncertain if it will ever get better. I make this video to vent a little and share my experience. I want to translate it into English because in my country, people don't believe me. Doctors deny the existence of this. I've lost a lot of weight. I lost approximately 3 kilograms this last week. The last bad episode I had was that one of my gums became severely affected. It inflamed. I went to an emergency dentist and he further worsened it. The area is swelling. My ear is clogged. My dizziness gets worse. It rings all the time. It is a combination of factors that make me feel worse every day. It's as if the brain is seeking a reason to feel bad. It is as if, despite being in a calm environment, it is torture because the body is a prison. Constant and unending. I constantly experience panic, fear. I have heart palpitations, dizziness. I don't go out anymore. The last time I went out was about 10 days ago. And I had an episode of vertigo where I felt like I was about to faint. My legs didn't work. I had cramps. I was alone. And it was a quite terrifying episode for me. To the extent that I've been locked up in the house for 8 days, this has been quite complex and starts with time. Thoughts of not wanting to continue living like this, of not wanting to harm yourself so much, not wanting to continue suffering, not wanting to wake up to suffer. And since you know that you're going to wake up and suffer, you can't sleep at night. So it's insomnia, sleeping at unusual hours. I always loved working, and I've been in bed for 2, almost 3 years, and that has been the worst. But I hadn't been able to work properly for a longer time because of the clonazepam, because it caused me a lot of sensitivity to light and severe migraines. It was a quite terrifying episode for me, to the point that I've been locked in the house for 8 days. It has been very complex and starts with time and thoughts. The wish to stop living like this, not wanting to harm myself so much, not wanting to continue suffering, not wanting to wake up to suffer, and knowing that I'm going to wake up and suffer suppresses my sleep at night. So it's insomnia, sleeping at unfavorable hours. I've always loved working. I've always loved working. But I've been in bed for 2, almost 3 years, and that has been the worst. But I hadn't been able to work properly for a longer time because they don't know, because it caused me a lot of sensitivity to light and a lot of migraines. I just wanted Jaristakar. I feel defeated. I feel sad. I'm not going to make any hasty decisions though, but I know that this has affected me physically and mentally so much that I don't know how long I can continue to hold on. I don't know if I can continue living like this for an elongated time. It is exhausting. I live alone. My mother left to another country many years ago. My dad is working and is almost 80 years old and well known. I'm the one supposed to take care of him. My brothers live in another country. I don't have a partner. I don't have children. I was on the highest doses of Pristiq. I don't remember right now, but I think it was 200 milligrams once. Then we gradually reduced it progressively with the help of a psychiatrist. But it was too strong as I had stopped taking clonazepam. I was also admitted to a psychiatric clinic. I wouldn't want to go back to a psychiatrist because the last time I went, it was catastrophic. They tried to reinstall me, go back to Pristiq, and it was even worse. I shivered all night from the cold. I urinated all night. I lost around 10 kilos, so I couldn't reinstall it again. Then they gave me 3 more antidepressants because I was in a pretty chaotic state. I finally contacted a neurologist here in Bogota, and he helped me get off all the medications because I switched to Pristiq for 3 more medications. That's kind of ridiculous. It helped me to quit gradually, but the damage had already been done. My stomach doesn't work like it should. Everything causes me pain. I'm living on whey and proteins, mostly liquid foods. I go out into the street, I go to the doctor and he tells me, but you look fine. Inside, I am totally ruined. I cry every day. I think the worst symptom is dizziness. It affects me the most because I want to go out, I want to walk, I want to go to a restaurant and sit. I can't. Whenever I sit somewhere, I feel it here. It's like having a migraine here. My arm goes numb and I start to feel dizzy. Initially, it's a combination of factors, something from the vestibular system combined with anxiety. Why do I say this? Because it affects me in specific places. Let's say it were a whole body problem, but it doesn't affect me, at least not where I live, just barely something. It's crazy, it's crazy. It's like the light, the noise, the people. There are days when I handle it better, but the hardest thing is to stay still standing. Like I go to pay or I stay standing waiting for something on the street. And the last time was horrible. Absolutely horrible. The medication doesn't work for me and I lose my balance. I've tried to face it, but the symptoms are too strong and that frustrates me because I feel so weak, I feel incapable. They begin to appear like fears from the past, from my childhood. I start to remember things. And I've always been a very weak person. I remember I was always afraid. I have always been a fearful person. Always have been. Somebody who avoids everything for safety's sake. Given they already do this, it's better not to. And in the long run, it has become a problem in my work and personal life. I hope that with time, things will improve. I have to admit that some things have improved. I had 50 symptoms. My knees hurt suddenly. I couldn't even walk because of the pain. My knees just started hurting out of nowhere. I went to the doctor. They did tests and told me it was a result of a contracted tendon that has been decreasing. My stomach is the worst. I can't eat much. Everything makes me feel ill. I had 2 endoscopies, a colonoscopy. Everything came out fine, but the symptoms are very intense. I also have many problems with my mouth. My gums get inflamed. I can't eat meat. I can't eat solids. So my diet is not very good, to be honest. My mouth gets very dry. My mouth dries up. I'm sensitive to light. I have ear pains, clogged ears, vertigo, dizziness. I'm just so exhausted, very, very exhausted. Weakness, lots of weakness, consistent frustration, a struggle for everyone. And I truly understand the people who are going through this. I'm sending a lot of support if you're watching this video one day. I think the hardest part has been the loneliness. Not having anyone to accompany me to a doctor. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, but I'm so nervous that I don't think I can go. I have to go because of this toothache. It's affecting me. I went to the dentist 2 days ago. He applied a treatment, but it was very strong. And the treatment exacerbated my wound even more. So I have to go back, but it was quite... That visit was torture. My mouth opened too wide, my ear had a worse odor, it became even more clogged than necessary. I hardly ate for 2 days. I ate once a day. 2 eggs. I don't eat anymore. And as I said before, I have a doctor's appointment, but I just don't think I'll be able to make it. I get it when people say on forums, going to the dentist for some people is really harsh. In my case, because when I was a child, or rather very young, I used to like going to the dentist. I don't know why, I just did. Because I felt like they were doing something positive for my teeth. But when your nerves start being affected by the medications, anything becomes torture. I went to the dentist last Sunday and my hands were shaking, my head was shaking, I felt like I was trembling, my heart. It felt like a mile a minute. Your stomach doesn't function when you're like this. The legs. I couldn't walk. It's a war within yourself. Because a portion of your mind knows that these are irrational fears. That is, I'm not in any danger. And despite it all, the dentist is there to help me resolve the problem. So they're irrational fears, a baseless fear. And that's what frustrates me. Despite having symptoms, I also have many fears that result in other symptoms. I hope that with time things will improve. And if not, well, we'll come here to talk about it. Fortunately, as I said before, I have improved in many ways. That's all for today. And thank you for watching the video.